Hey guys, it's Serene, and today I'm going to talk about the legend of Sleepy Hollow. It's Halloween, and I thought it'd be fun to do a classic scary story, and when I asked on Instagram, this is the one that got recommended to me. Sleepy Hollow is a book written by Washington Irving, and it starts out describing the peaceful small town that was called Sleepy Hollow. Irving goes into great description of the town in the first half of the book, and makes it seem like a quiet, enjoyable place that most people would be happy to live in and raise children in and all the good stuff. The main character is a man who just moved there named Ichabod, and he moved there to become a school teacher. He was a strict teacher who believed that if one spared the rod, he would spoil the child, and it was made very clear that by his terms, his class was not spoiled. However, he still tried to keep a good relationship with his students outside of class, mainly because he didn't get paid enough to live in a house and had to live with the different families of the children he taught, usually switching between them for a few weeks at a time. He also taught singing in the church and was very proud of his voice and made sure he was the loudest singer in the group so that everyone could hear him. A lot of the younger women in the town liked him because he was new and interesting and educated, and he certainly did not turn them away. He was very appreciative of the attention he received from them, and it rose his ego to a whole new level. He also liked to gossip with the townspeople and stir up petty drama for his own amusement. The man needed a vibe check, and boy, did he have one coming to him. Now, Ichabod meets this girl named Katrina Von Tassel, and he decides that she is the one he wants to pursue. She is not only a hottie, but she's also loaded, and Ichabod is a little gold-digging weenie boy. This is where Ichabod meets his nemesis, because Ichabod is not the only one pursuing Katrina. The other guy pursuing Katrina is named Brom Bones, and he is a total Chad. Seriously, in the book, Brom is compared to Hercules, and is a super cool war hero that everyone loves. I honestly don't know why Ichabod thought he had a chance. Seriously, the audacity. Anyways, it isn't clear what Brom's intentions are in pursuing Katrina. He doesn't care much about money, and it might have been because of love, but in my opinion, it is more likely he is pursuing her because compared to the other women in the town, she's the most beautiful and she's the most rich, and therefore she's the ultimate prize to be won. However, this isn't 100% clear. Now, Brom, being the ultimate hunk of meat that he is very direct with Katrina about his intentions, whereas Ichabod, being the beta male, decides to be a little more subtle with her. Now, Katrina had a party at her house and invited a lot of people, including Brom and Ichabod, and both of them took this as an opportunity to try and once again win her heart. Ichabod borrowed a horse from the farmer Van Ripper that he was staying at. The horse did not look the best, but it was the fastest that Van Ripper had, and it was also named Gunpowder. I just thought that part was cool. Brom rode in on a wild, mean horse that was named Daredevil because he liked to play tricks on humans that happened to come near him. Brom was said to favor animals that were a little bit vicious. Like himself. When they got to the party, Ichabod managed to convince Katrina to dance with him, while Brom glowered from the corner. They both told stories, and Ichabod, being an avid storyteller, managed to one-up Brom once again. However, Brom mentioned in one of his stories that he had raised a Hessian rider that was riding what appeared to be a demon horse. He made it safely to a bridge, and then turned and saw the horse and rider disappear. Despite being able to one-up Brom the entire night, it is implied that Katrina ultimately rejects Ichabod, and honestly, I don't blame her. Ichabod leaves all depressed because nice guys always finish last and all that jazz, and begins the ride through the woods home. All of a sudden, he realizes that he is being followed. He calls out to another rider and asks him who he is, but doesn't receive an answer. He gets an uneasy feeling and decides to slow down and let the other rider pass him. As he turns around to look at the other rider, he realizes that the other rider doesn't have a head and is holding it as he rides. And he freaks out, probably pees himself a little, as one does, and immediately gets his horse to speed up. As soon as he speeds up, the other rider speeds up as well, and they get in this high-speed chase through the forest. Would not recommend. His horse is panicking, and they miss the turn back into the town, so he just keeps going through the forest. He eventually sees the bridge that Brom mentioned and realizes that if he makes it to the bridge, he will be safe. He reaches the other side of the bridge and then stops and turns to see if the horseman will disappear like he did in Brom's story. Instead, the horseman chunks his disconnected head at him, and Ichabod gets nay-nayed. The townspeople all look for him the next day, once the horse turns up back to Van Ripper's house without him, but he's never seen again. All they can find at the front of the bridge is his hat and a smashed pumpkin. At the end of the story, it is revealed that apparently Ichabod survived and moved because he was scared of the horseman and also because he was embarrassed that Katrina rejected him. It's also revealed that Brom and Katrina got married soon after the party, and anytime Ichabod was brought up, Brom always laughed about what happened to him. What I love about this story is that it was kind of open-ended about who the horseman was. It could have been a Hessian rider like Brom suggested, although it also could have been Brom himself. Maybe thinking that he had lost Katrina because he hadn't realized that she had rejected Ichabod. It could even have been a ghost. Personally, I think it was Brom, because that's what makes the most sense to me, because I feel like the description in the beginning of his horse being very vicious and kind of mean-spirited was kind of foreshadowing, and I think what really seals the deal for me is the fact that every time the event is brought up, Brom laughs about it, and in my opinion, I would feel like even if my rival disappeared, even though I don't like them, I would still feel sympathy for them, and I wouldn't laugh every time what we thought was a death happened. But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments who you think the horse rider was. That's all for today, and I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. See